Thanks for tuning into this channel where we're going to learn all about tarot. And tarot talks about a lot of different subjects. It talks about energy, it talks about spirituality, it talks about astrology, numerology, chakras, emotional intelligence, and a whole lot of different things that we're not usually learned in school. So this channel is going to be completely focused on helping you learn all about this energetic spiritual world that's happening all around us. So keep in mind that technically everyone is spiritual because everyone has a spirit, and the more awakened you become, then the easier it is to understand life that happens around you. If you learn something new, press the thumbs up button. If you want to support the channel, subscribe. I would appreciate all your support. This is a new channel, going to be lots to learn. So let's get started. Okay, so let's get started. Prayer in the reverse. So keep in mind that all of these cards, they represent energies, and the more that you start to understand your own energy and the energy all around you, then the easier your life will become and the more elevated your spiritual awakening will be. So what we're going to talk about today is prayer, which praying is a very complicated subject, but let's talk about it. But here, this card is in the reverse, so it means that we're not praying, okay, there's so many different ways to start off this topic, but let's just first start off by talking about it in a religious way. So in spirituality, it doesn't matter who you pray to. Spirituality has something called omnism, whereas you believe that all religions are true. And there's lots of different gods or goddesses that are out there, and there are many that are high vibrational, like the stereotypical God that you read about in the Bible, as well as in many other religions. But then there's also low vibrational gods, which could be the devil that's written about in the Bible. But you can also look at it in Greek mythology, for example, right? You had Zeus, who was a high-ranking god, and then you had, I think it was Hermes, who was the god of the underworld. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's how it is. Anyway, so it doesn't matter who you pray to, what gods you believe in, what spirits are around that you're connected to. I like to look at praying as asking your higher self for what you want. And this has a lot to do with affirmations. I would think that affirmations are a form of prayer where you tell yourself, your soul, your higher self, what you want, what you think should happen, what intentions that you have, and even affirmations like, I am amazing. It makes you feel amazing because you believe that, and because you're telling yourself you are amazing, for example. So you can look at prayer in many different types of ways, but they're all very significantly important, regardless of how you pray, what you say, and who you pray to. So in the reverse, it means that we're not praying. And every day you should be able to reflect on yourself, which is a form of prayer, and you should talk to yourself or talk to God or talk to any type of spirit, any passed away loved one. You can talk to anybody that you want, but it's really important that every day you do that so that you can clear your energy field of low vibrational energies. So prayer is typically high vibrational. When people pray, they have faith, they have courage, they ask for strength, they ask for a lot of different things, and this is very high vibrational. So I'm sure we're going to talk about a lot of different things, but in life, people don't always get what they ask for. And many times this is intentional and there are reasons behind this. So a lot of people don't pray because they don't believe in God, because they've asked for something and they've never actually received it, or something bad has happened to them. So then they don't believe that God exists, because how could God allow that to happen? But life is very complicated, and there's a lot more of a bigger picture that's going on behind the background. And you have to be ready for the things that you pray for so that you don't sabotage them when you get them. You have to understand life and death cycles and reincarnation and all of these different things in order to understand why God would take someone away from you in your life. And there's just so many different examples of how people misinterpret prayers, and they don't ask for, I want to say the right things, but that's a horrible way to word it. But people don't ask for the things that their soul wants them to have. So then they don't end up getting it. But this is all for a reason. So let's use this Light Seers Tarot deck and break it down. Okay, let's see what we have here. So the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, the Seven of Cups in reverse, the Two of Swords upright, and the Nine of Cups in the upright. So let's use the book. We're going to start off and we're going to talk about not praying, which is about not doing the work, not making decisions, not knowing what direction to go to. And then when you do pray and your prayers get answered, you get the Nine of Cups, which is wish fulfillment. See how here she has all of her cups and they're just floating there in the magical energy. This is pretty much the card of your wishes fulfilled. Your prayers are answered. So let's address these cards that are in reverse, because the prayer card is in the reverse. So we're going to look at the Eight of Pentacles. So in the reverse, it talks about seeking shortcuts. So whenever you pray, you want to make sure that you're not asking for things because you want to go about it in a lazy type of way, or like in spirituality, and when you're connected to high vibrational spirits, your soul wants life to be as easy as possible for you. But you have to be tested, you have to go through trials and tribulations in order to learn lessons, you have to earn a lot of high vibrational energy, which a lot of times means starting at the bottom and working your way up in order to earn these energies. So never pray for shortcuts. You don't want to do that. It says burning out or giving up, right? A lot of times prayers aren't answered right away. This has to do with energy and manifestation and the law of attraction, and it takes time for energy to admit out of your heart chakra. If you've ever heard of electromagnetic fields, our heart emits different types of frequencies of electromagnetic fields. And then we get those downloads through our crown chakra. But this actually takes time for the cycle to go around. So prayers don't always get answered right away. So don't give up on what you want, because sometimes it could take years for you to be aligned to your wish fulfillment, to your prayers being answered. Sporadic output. So if you were to pray, you want to make sure that you do it on a consistent basis, right? Because, excuse me, when your soul starts, when you start communicating, let's say, to your soul, and you start setting the intentions of what you want deep down inside, then it's important to stay focused. Being focused is an energy. And this has to do with when you're manifesting, you're metaphorically planting a seed. And metaphorical seeds need to be watered, right? So let's just say if you want a dream job, right? That's planting the seed where you would go and you'd put a resume out. But you also have to water it. So you have to follow up with the resumes that you put out. You have to go to job interviews and see if you like the place. You have to do different things in order to water your seed, in order to make it grow. So if you don't pray every day, and it doesn't have to be like every day no matter what, if something comes up, then you're not going to get punished because you don't pray for a day, but you want to make sure that you remain consistent so that you can earn the energy of consistency, because that allows that energy to remain stable and grounded, and it comes back to you much quicker when you're not so sporadic. So now that we address them in the reverse, it says patience and determination are the best ways to ensure your success. Mastering this skill takes time and perseverance, and shortcuts are not the best path forward as you build your experience. Remain dedicated to excellence and to developing your unique form. Study, practice, improve, and thrive. That is beautiful. So then you have the Seven of Cups in the reverse. So let's talk about it in the reverse. It says, feeling blocked by indecision. So that is one of the most important parts of praying, is to know what you're praying for. And you want to know specifically. A lot of people we use your finding your dream job as an example, but a lot of people think that their dream job is one thing. But once they get the job, then the grass may not be greener on the other side. So it's important to know what you want and set the intention. And you want to be pretty broad about it, but you also want to be specific. So whenever you manifest anything, whenever you pray for what you want, instead of praying for a specific job at a specific company for a specific pay, you would manifest, just say, I want a job where I can be creative, where my talents are going to go noticed, where I'm going to make enough money to be stable and secure in my life, so that you can allow the universe to put the missing puzzle pieces together, and to, if you know how to follow your intuition, then you follow your intuition and you find the energies that you were looking for, that you manifested through your prayers. So, and then it says fear of making the wrong choice. So again, just like we were saying, whenever you pray, you don't want to be too specific, and you don't want to block your manifestations with low vibrational energy. So if you ask for something and then you do something low vibrational, like being fearful, like, oh my God, what if I get my dream job, but what if I screw it up, or what if I'm not good at it, or what if I don't like it? If you start adding low vibrational energy into your prayers, then it's really hard for your dreams to come true. So then in the upright, it says, when you daydream your way into the future and this is part of manifestation as well, when pretty much every manifestation starts with your imagination, because you have to imagine what you could achieve. So pretty much all successful business owners at one point or another in their life, they sat down and they dreamed of having a big company. They dreamed of being successful. They dreamed of doing all the things that they're currently doing. And this is why imagination and daydreaming is important, because it gets the ball rolling with what you want to manifest and what you pray for in your life. The options that you have in front of you can feel both under and overwhelming. The path from A to Z is often nebulous, and life can present itself like a game of chutes and ladders that brings you down only to lift you up. So when you pray, remember that it's very likely that things will get worse, things will go down before they get better. And this is part of being tested in life and being tested on your faith. I like this. It says, my wildest imagination is a tool that I can use to inform my future in a down-to-earth way. I love that. That's the epitome of manifesting. So then you have the Two of Swords. It says, you know that feeling of not knowing? It's time to make a choice, and it may seem like you are between a rock and a hard place. If you can't decide which way to go, it's because you can't see the bigger picture yet. The Two of Swords is whispering that you must move in one direction. Close your eyes and listen to your internal guidance system for your map. If your intuition has fallen unusually silent, it's asking you to trust yourself and your ability to discern and decide. Even in blindness, you already know the best way forward. So prayer is really important too, because another major step in manifesting is doing the work, is going after what it is you want, is taking the opportunities. Because anyone can pray, they can just say, I want my dream job, but if they never make a resume, well then it's very, very difficult to get your dream job, right? That's not to say that it's not impossible. Miracles do happen, but manifesting is about doing the work and making decisions and following the right path to get you to the metaphorical pot of gold in the end. So that leads us to the Nine of Cups. It says, this is the card of abundance and happiness, and is often fittingly called the wish card. What have you been wishing for? What are you manifesting? What do you want? What are you going to pray for? Allow yourself to experience how fulfilling this journey can be, and fill your life with all the laughter and bliss needed to spur you into the next phase of your happiness. Take stock of all of the feels that are surfacing, and remember to practice gratitude for the manifestation of your dreams. I love that. And then it says, I open my grateful heart to the gifts that are coming my way. That's amazing. I love it. Wow. Okay, so prayer. So it's important to pray. Let's just say that. So let's get some spirit animal cards and see what energies we need to be embodying when it comes to spirit animals. So everyone has a spirit, and your spirit is your energy, and all species of animals are predisposed to having their own certain types of energies, which we can also embody. So let's find out. This card wanted to come out. Chameleon spirit, act as if. Again, another important part of manifestation. So prayer and manifestation are very similar things. So the chameleon spirit, act as if. So let's just say you wanted your dream job. You want to act as though you have your dream job, even if you don't. And this is because I don't want to say are being tested, but it's important for you to learn how to walk in the energy of success and abundance and fulfillment and all of these positive things, because that's the energy that's going to attract positive things to you. So, for example, if you're secure and you're stable and you have all your shit under control, then you're going to walk around with a certain level of confidence, right? Not arrogance. We don't want to get into that realm, but of confidence, where you stand tall, you stand proud, and you just have a lot of resilient energies. So when you embody this energy and you meet people, then you're going to meet a lot of the same people who share the same energy as you. So then they'll be successful and secure and stable, and they'll have their wish fulfillment as well. And you'll hit it off because you're all resonating with the same types of energies. So it's really important when you pray and when you ask for what you want that you act as if you already have it, or not have it, but act as if you already have the energy. So, whoa, let's try that again. Those kind of just fell right out of my hand. Okay. Koi fish spirit. It says, there is always enough. I love that. So this, I would think, has a lot to do with, jealousy and a lot of very low vibrational things, which I don't want to really get into. But the thing is that a lot of times when people, let's just say people have their wishes fulfilled, right? Let's just say you get your dream job, if that's what you're manifesting. Many times low vibrational people will not like that at all. And they're going to see it as a threat. They're going to downplay your accomplishments. They're just going to do low vibrational things. So first of all, don't take that personally, because that has an issue to do with them and their low vibrational energy and the way that they see people who are successful. But you want to know, or you need to know, that when you pray, there is always enough for everybody. So you never want to pray on someone else's downfall. You never want to pray that, you're going to be better than everyone else, because in life, in spirituality, it's not about that. It's about everyone can theoretically live the life of their dreams. Everyone can have abundance to live a secure and a stable life. Everyone can have their prayers answered. So you need to be aware that a lot of times when your prayers do get answered, other people may have an issue with that, and other people may want to try to tear you down or take away your opportunities. But this is just a part of life, and there are lots of lessons to learn behind that. And keep in mind, only low vibrational people don't want the best for everyone, which has nothing to do with you. So, like I was saying, don't take it personally. But whenever you pray, there's always enough. If you've ever heard the expression, the sky is the limit, you can keep dreaming and dreaming. So then we have the fox spirit. Think on your feet. So I love this because a lot of times when you're praying, you're high vibrational, which means that you get downloads into your mind. And downloads, you can think of them are just kind of like thoughts that pop into your head where you don't actually have to think about it. You just get this brilliant idea all of a sudden. So a lot of prayer has to do with these downloads, and it helps you to think on your feet. So if you've ever said to yourself, like, why didn't I think of that before? It's because you were missing the energy to get that download from spirit, from your spirit, from God, from whatever you believe in, to make your dreams come true. So this happens to me a lot. If I'm manifesting something, then I'll be like, I don't even want to use an example, and this does happen all the time, but for the most part, like if I want something, then when I'm praying about it or I'm meditating about it, I'm just reflecting on it, then I'll get this good idea that pops in my head, and then I'll be like, wow, I can't believe I just thought of that. And then I go about and I act on that thought, because this is what thinking on your feet is. Downloads, things that just pop into your mind when you're high vibrational, they have a lot of meaning, and they can help you a lot to achieve whatever it is you want. And many times they're like these stupid thoughts, and your ego will come in and say like, oh no, like that would never work, or that doesn't make any sense, or anything like that. But if you actually follow through on it, then so many times in my life I've surprised myself of how those downloads were correct. But use your own discernment, use your own judgment. Like, a lot of times, if you're low vibrational, or if you're greedy or arrogant, or you have a low vibrational spirit, then those thoughts that pop up into your head are going to be temptations to do bad things that are going to lead you down the wrong path. So you always want to make sure to use your discernment, and there's actually a trick. So whenever I pray or I meditate or I manifest, I usually do something very high vibrational before I even start. So I love to dance, like I would go dancing, or if you do something creative or something that you're passionate about, or just listen to a soulful song and actually feel the energy of the song. There's so many different things you can do to make you high vibrational. You could spend time with kids and, just do different things with them, because kids have a very youthful spirit, which is very high vibrational. Then you can start to think on your feet, and then you can pray properly. And I lost my train of thought there, but I'm sure you know exactly what I mean. So let's get the wisdom oracle cards. What type of wisdom for healing do we need to know? So it's hard to have faith. I know that it's hard to have faith, and especially because your ego wants everything right away, and a lot of bad things do happen in this world. And it's really important to understand that just because bad things happen, it doesn't necessarily, it's not because of God, because people have their own free will to make their own decisions and their own actions, which I'm sure God in many high vibrational forms would frown upon. but this is just the way that life is. So it's important to just, I don't want to say take out your hardships on God, but God is always there to give you strength to go through the hardships. So if something bad is happening in your life, then you pray for energies. You pray for strength. You pray for courage. You pray for hope. And you pray for faith and love and all of these different energies, because God is a spirit. So your prayers aren't really ever going to be tangible things, right? So you want to pray for energies, and then your wishes will be granted. But your energies manifest in the 3D world in the physical form once you do the work and once you do the lessons and once you learn the lessons. So let's get some wisdom for healing cards. It says, pay attention to your body. On this day, think about one thing that your body requires that it didn't need yesterday. Listen, observe, and pay attention to the physical, emotional, mental, and psychological stresses in your body, and respond to one of them fully and consciously. Your goal: to pay attention to your body in every way. And this is important. We were just talking about energy, and energy affects your physical body, it affects your emotional state, it affects your mental health and your psychological stresses. So it's really important to pay attention to the energy around you and how it affects your body. So then we have examine unfinished business. Identify one piece of unfinished business. This could relate to a person or a task. Then do one thing to bring it to closure. If you find that you're unable to do so, you've identified a major power leak and a serious block to your healing. Your goal: to understand that all experiences either make you bitter or better. So I actually like this a lot, because unfinished business, if you've ever heard the expression, when one door closes, another door opens, this is how prayers work. So let's just say if you pray for the most amazing partner you could ever want, if you're stuck in a karmic cycle with a partner who's not good for you, then you're never going to get your manifestation. Your prayers won't be answered because you're stuck in a karmic cycle. So a lot of times in life, you have to close doors on your own to leave room for new things to come into your life. And this is a big part of manifestation as well. So if you want to pray for your dream job, then you want to make sure that you have a job where, before you get your dream job, you want to have a job where it's okay if you leave and you've already, trained someone else so that they can take over the job, and you've already done your due diligence, because the spiritual world likes things to be high vibrational. So it doesn't want to just give you your dream job and then you go and you screw over all your coworkers and your boss and everything like that, right? Like that's going to block your manifestations. So you want to think about things in your life that you want to be better and that you want to change, and you have to close out all of those cycles so that your prayers can be answered. And then it says surrender to the divine. Identify one fear that you need to surrender unconditionally into the hands of the divine. And the divine is God on a high vibration, or the divine is your higher self. again, on a high vibration. This prayer can truly change your entire life. So the prayer of identifying one fear that you need to surrender unconditionally. Your goal, to lift the burden of fear from your soul, because fear is the opposite of faith. So if you operate out of fear all the time, you're connected to a low vibrational spirit, which is not going to help your manifestations come true. It's not going to help your prayers become answered. It's just going to block you. So once you learn how to release the fear in your life and have faith that things are going to work out and have faith to help you have a positive energy, then you will have a positive energy and you'll be attracted to things that have positive energy, and things that have positive energy will be attracted to you, and then it's going to help you fulfill your wishes. So you want to make sure that you release any type of fear and low vibrational energy. And then it says, use your wisdom. Dedicate yourself to wisdom on this day. Acknowledge one of the greatest truths you've learned and apply this truth to your life in some way. Your goal, to use your wisdom and feel how powerful it is when taken from thought into form. So you earn wisdom by learning life lessons. And a lot of life lessons, there's a whole playbook about it in the description box below. There's a lot of different life lessons. There's thousands of them, literally, and that playbook will break down a lot of them to help you understand what life lessons are about. But essentially, when you learn life lessons, you gain wisdom. And the more wisdom you have, the more high vibrational you become. And the more high vibrational your spirit is, then the more you're connected to God, the more you're connected to the divine, to your higher self, which means that the more quickly you get downloads, the more quickly your manifestations come to life, the more quickly you can change your level of consciousness so that the law of attraction can work in your favor. But without wisdom, it's nearly impossible to do this in a much quicker type of way. So dedicate yourself to learning, to acquiring wisdom, because this is what's going to make your soul grow and is what's going to help you to have all of your dreams come true in your life. So thanks so much for tuning into this video. If you learned something new, press the like button. And if you want to learn more, we're going to cover lots of different topics. Hit the subscribe, and I hope to see you all at the next video. Bye.